Hey everybody, welcome back to Sassy Gal Preppin'. It's your Sassy Gal, and today we are going to be setting up a new indoor arrow garden, and here we are, and I will show you everything that it comes with, but it's missing one thing, and that would be instructions. Alright y'all, I took this out of the box and I took everything out so you could see what it comes with. Everything was all packaged in here, and then this top was like down as far as it could go in the box. So anyway, you get all of this, and except there are no instructions. I left this in the box since Christmas. And when I went back into my account, it says today, it says that it's currently unavailable. They don't know when it's coming back, and there are no like videos of like how to set this up or any explanation of certain things. So for example, there's this. I have no idea what this is for. These are what your grow sponges go in, and they go in here, but this is just an oddball size, and I don't have any sponges that big, and so I don't know exactly what that would be for unless you're going to grow something really big, and there are bigger grow sponges out there. I have no idea. And then this, I thought it would be to measure out the growth food in here, but actually everything is all upside down on here. Do you see that? So I'm thinking that it goes on this so that you can visibly see the water level, because there are no windows on here. My other grow gardens have a window here where you can see the water level, but this one does not have that. So I'm guessing that's what this is for, because it does raise up like this. So I'm assuming that's what that's for. I don't know. All right, these are the mysterious things. All right, and then this little card was inside here, and it said that there's a unique AI function. As the growth height of plants change, the brightness ratio of red light and blue light will also change, which can better promote plant growth. And then I have an email address if I encounter any problems, but I'm not sure about that email address. When I first looked at it, it looked like cuckoo. That's kind of what I feel like right now. Little cuckoo, but everything else seems to check out. Here's your grow sponges. There's one for each compartment. You've got your little sponge holder here. You have these little dome covers. This goes over the grow sponge until you get sprouts, and then you take these off. Of course, there's your plug and then your growth food. And there's granules in here. And so, what you do is, you fill it up with distilled water, purified water. Not your tap water, okay? And then you fill it up, to about like right here, and then shake it up and let it dissolve. And so you need both A and B. You can know that these take about a gallon. They hold 4.5 liters, but I know that's a gallon. And then these little measurements right here, you measure your plant food B, you measure up to the 15 and put it in there. And the same thing with A, you do that for the growth food. So what I'm going to do is actually fill these up right now and let them dissolve. I don't use all 12 or all the spaces in my arrow gardens all at once, because I grow lettuce mainly in my arrow gardens, and there's no way that if I have here a lettuce plant here, the way it grows out, it would cover another space. So I usually alternate spaces when I am growing things. So that's what I'm going to do here as well. So I'll probably use 6 pods and not all 12. And this is what I'm going to actually do. So this is an experiment for me. I'm going to actually try to grow parsley, chives, and dill in this garden, and mainly because the light will go way up high. But we're gonna go ahead and try this. I love dill, chives, parsley, love it all. So first thing I'm gonna do, I have some water here, and I'm gonna soak my sponges for about 5 minutes. Make sure that they get all really soaked up good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. And then I'll get some things set up here. Something I didn't show you inside is this is the pump down here. Okay, and there was a piece of foam here. So just make sure you check everything inside and out before you hook up your hydroponic garden. And look, when I opened this up, I didn't realize there's the water level mark right there, 4.5 liters. And that's your max fill line right there. And then this hooks to the back. There's a cord here, so there's one here for, this is for the pump, and then there's another one that this cord plugs into for the outlet, okay, and then that will power the lights. So, and then you have on the top, you also have, so you can just plug this unit in, and it won't actually run until you push the power button, okay? And then you have lights for the vegetable, flower, and then you can turn the pump on and off if you need to, but I always run the pump. I'm hoping that it's like my other aero garden and the pump just doesn't churn, you know, continuously 24/7, that it will shut off periodically. So we're gonna see how this does for the first 24, 48 hours and see how that works. Usually it's programmed, there's like an automatic program with these things that is like a 16 on, 8 off. So let's see. And my other gardens, my I Do aero gardens that I've done videos on, if you turn it on, let's say I turn it on at 6 a.m., it'll turn off at 10 p.m. and then it comes back on automatically. It's like pre-programmed to do that. So we'll see if this one does the same thing. Also, when you put this back on, you can see that there's a little bit of a space that's already cut out there for your cord to go right through. Okay, my sponges are done soaking, so I'm ready to put them in the hydroponic garden. And what I have decided to do is I'm actually going to do 7 slots, and I am actually going to do parsley here in the front, and then I'm going to do dill on the ends and chives here. Anyway, I think that's going to work, so we're going to try that, and we're just going to go ahead and put the sponges in. Just like that. You don't need to squeeze them out or anything. Just go ahead and put them in. Here we go. And now these seed packets were in my little thing here, my little container garden envelope. So we have dill, mammoth, and I hope that's not a sign of foreshadowing of how big it's going to be. And then we have some chives, and then we have some parsley. I use distilled water in my aero gardens, and that prevents all kinds of buildup, you know, mineral buildup and stuff from your tap water. So I go ahead and get purified water or distilled water, and then I pour a little bit out from the gallon so that I have enough room to put these in because they can, I've done it before where I went to pour them in there and then it kind of overflowed. So I like to actually put the mix in the gallon and then it's already in there when I pour. Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can put your water in and then put your things in, your little pods in, and this one will let you can pour your A and B solution here in the side, but I'm actually just going to go ahead and pour all of the water in there once I get this set where I want it. So I don't like to move it with all the water in it. So we're going to go ahead and get this set where I want it. Now, what do I do with the empty spaces? What I do is that I just go ahead and use these and I just set them over the empty spaces while I'm using it so that the water doesn't evaporate and there isn't any, you know, dust or whatever from the house getting in there. So I just go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to show you a little trick that I do also. I cover them with some foil, and I'm going to go ahead and do that before I set this up. Okay, I have a little square piece of tin foil, aluminum foil that I cut. And so then I fold it in half like that, and then I snip it just a little bit, fold it in half again, and snip it again like that, which gives me this little openings here so that the sprout can come right through it. So I don't think you can see that. My other gardens used to have little stickers that came with them, and they would, you could just put the little stickers, and it had the same kind of thing, a little hole in the top. And then as they were growing, you just leave them on there, and it just helps prevent the mold and stuff from growing on the tops of your sponges. Here is my garden set up on right above my sink here. So that'll be nice to look at while I'm doing dishes. And I put a funnel in there so we can get the rest of our water put in there. I see you guys splashed a little bit. But see, that's just what they look like. And you can see the little plunger thingy coming up. So I guess I was right about that. It doesn't want to, I don't want to break it. I don't know how that goes in there. There we go. There we go. We got it down in there. So it looks like I'm almost 4.5 liters. I know there's a gallon in there, so I could put a little bit more water in there. There we go. All the way up to the top. Got it in there. Oh, hey, focus. Come on. Here we go. All the way up to the top. Okay. Last but not least is the plug. And here we go. I'm going to plug it in. Let's see what happens. Okay. So let's get up here. Oh, I heard a noise. All right, so let's turn it on. All right, and I'm going to hit vegetables, and pump is on. Can't even hear it. I had to turn my fan off that I had running in the kitchen just so I could try to make sure that this thing was actually running. And I pulled one of these up and I looked inside and I could see the water was moving. And then I put my ear right up to here and I could hear it running, but it's so quiet. I'm not used to that. My other gardens make a little bit of noise. You can't hear it. So, well, anyway, I'll end from the back side of this. One thing I do like about this is that this hooks back here versus the other ones that I have, which is my I Do gardens that I have. The pump and the lights hook up here to this. And so the cords are always like in the way of the things that are growing. And I really like this. This one comes back here like that. So that's a super nice feature. And then the other thing is that I lowered this as low as it would go because when you're starting out your seeds, you have to have the lights as close as possible to the seeds. As they grow and stuff like that, you can raise it up, but you want to have your lights as close as possible to the seeds when you're first starting. So today is day 1 and today is August 11th. So I will update you on my new grow system and how the seeds are growing. So y'all, this has been fun. Take care, y'all. Stay sassy and keep it classy and get those gardens growing. And I'll catch you in the next video.